And we wanted to talk to the offensive coordinator of the Jets, Marty Mornhinweg, and he's nice enough to join us now. I'm sure he's pretty busy. Coach, how you doing? Michael and Don here.
Michael and Don, good to be with you. What's going on today?
We want you to tell us how great this Jet offense is going to be. We need to know that.
Well, let me tell you, we just got done with our whole off season. It was an outstanding off season. I'm excited about the future. I'm excited about the New York Jets. We had some great competition. Got an awful lot of multiple looks from our defense, what pays off in the future. So we're excited here at the facility.
Nervous that Bill Belichick might have your plays already?
Oh, hey, well, I don't know anything about that specifically, but look, we've got every game plan is so individual specific. You know what I mean? So, and it's the details with which it's coached and ultimately the details with which it's played. So I suppose there's a lot of that out there anyways. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Chris Johnson, one of the big pickups, Marty. I just want to know, is there another CJ 2000 in him?
Well, we sure hope so here. And I'll tell you what, these last 3 days, I was excited about Chris Johnson because he got into some individual drills. You know, he's coming off of a knee scope, a little cartilage, to the best of my knowledge, that's what it was. And even at 75 or 80%, he looked pretty good. So I'm excited about Chris. He's really done a good job of learning. He's studied hard, and so he's diligent that way. And then it looks like he'll be healthy for when we open up training camp.
Did the drama around Mike Goodson put a damper on any of your plans using him going into this season? Was he going to be a part of this offense in your mind?
Who are you talking about?
Mike
Chris?
Goodson.
Or Mike, yeah.
No, Mike Goodson.
Oh, yeah, Mike. That's too bad. Jeez, Mike, great guy, all that. So he's not on our roster anymore, and that's too bad for both he and the Jets. And I hope he gets the thing straightened out that he needs to get straightened out, and I'm hoping that he's productive from here on out and gets back into football, and because he's a really nice young man and with a lot of talent.
Now, obviously, one of the stories of the lead up to the season is going to be the quarterback situation. The other day you said that Geno's going to get 70% of the snaps, and Rex has said over and over, this job can be won. Are you kind of, in effect, putting Michael Vick behind the eight ball? Because it's going to be hard to win a job if he gets only 30% of the snaps.
Oh, that's a good point. Look, Mike, here's what I know. That Geno knows exactly what his expectations and the exact role that we perceive, and Mike knows the same, as well as Matt, as well as Tosh. So the communication's key there privately. Publicly, it's very difficult because you don't have enough time to sit down and explain everything in a way that people can understand the fine details. So I know that the quarterbacks know exactly what the expectations and what the role are. Now, here's my challenge is to keep Geno progressing at a high rate, which he has done this off season, and then at the same time have Mike. We've got to have Mike ready to go to play at the high level that I know he can play at within our offensive system, and then we've got to have Matt ready to go if something happens to the top two guys, and all of them are competing with each other. So they're competing with each other, and I hate to put percentages on because that, as you know, that changes every day. If Geno needs a certain play, I'll get him in for that particular. If Mike needs a certain play, I'll get him in for that particular play. So that varies. I probably made a mistake by putting a percentage on it, to tell you the truth, but that's about how it's been going, and it certainly could change. You have to deal with nicks. You have to deal with injuries. You have to deal with outstanding play, and you have to deal with subpar play. So it certainly could change as we go through the training camp.
Marty, aren't you betting on the progress of Geno Smith? Because on the outside looking into me, if Michael Vick is healthy and the way he has gone in his career and with his experience, wouldn't he be a better quarterback this year than Geno Smith could be?
Well, that's a good point. We're going to play the best player for the New York Jets football team, and here's the situation we have. We have a young, talented, up-and-coming quarterback who it's important that we continue to progress. He started 16 games for us, certainly had his ups and downs. He played very, very well the last quarter of the season. He brought us back from behind to win ball games in the fourth quarter 5 times. So he did some special things for us. Now, so we've got to get him progressing. Then we have a veteran who's I will say, one of the dynamic players in the game still. He's had trouble staying healthy just a little bit. You know, I've coached him for a couple years. This guy can play at a high level. So I know this, that we've put sort of a little stamp on the quarterback position for at least the next year. We've got Mike for 1 year, as you know. So there you have it. We've got 2 quarterbacks, totally different situations. This team last year, we had a lot of young guys, a lot of rookies, a lot of young players playing for us for the first time. This is a growing young team. So we'll see what happens. I would expect Geno to continue to progress, and I would expect Mike to be ready to play at a high level at any point.
Jets offensive coordinator Marty Mornhinweg is our guest here on the Michael Kay Show. Marty, obviously the Jets went out and improved their receiving core by getting Eric Decker. Who's the other wide receiver?
Well, we're in competition there now. I will say this: Stephen Hill has done an excellent job this all season. I've been impressed with him, and if you remember, I was impressed with him and his progression early last year. Through the summer, the off season, and into those first several games. And then he got nicked again, and then from that point on, he was just never healthy again. In fact, we set him down the last few games. His knee was swollen on him and so forth. So sometimes it takes a player a year, 2, or even more to play at that high level real consistently. So I can see him progressing. So that's big. And now we've got. Let's say this is what we have. We're deep at receiver. We've got 4 or 5 men that I know can play. They're going to run around. They're going to separate. They're going to catch the ball. They can be productive if they're part of our core. We've got several receivers who can really, really run. All right. So now, can they play the game the way we want them to play? That's the question. And then the third group, we've got a handful of players who are young, most of them young, talented guys who are going to fit themselves into that competition. So that area of our football team is going to be highly competitive, including the starter opposite of Decker.
I like the personnel on the offensive line, Marty, but I don't think they played great last year. Analyzing it now, prepared for this upcoming season, how much of that was just maybe a rookie at quarterback putting the offensive line in a tough spot, or can the offensive line just flat out play better than they did last year?
Well, that's a really a good point. That's one thing. Going back to last year, if you remember, we were just decimated at the receiver spot,
right?
And we had a rookie quarterback. So the one thing, we maneuvered more than I ever have in my career. Had to maneuver just a little bit more because of the injuries out wide. And the one thing that I could hang my hat on week in and week out was that big O-line. Now, we were up and down just a little bit there, but when our offensive line played well, we typically won those games. And then you've got the rookie quarterback. And I will tell you, almost always a really good quarterback, and most of them need some experience to do this, but they can make an O-line look pretty good. You know, they can get the ball out on time. They rarely take sacks, and that comes much of the time. It comes with experience. And our backfield, I'm excited about our backfield. We've got one of the great power runners, I think, in Chris Ivory, and then we've got a dynamic speedster, with Chris Johnson, and then Blau is so underrated. This is a man that is a terrific all-around productive ball player. And then we've got, that's a deep area too, we've got some men there that are competing to make this squad and help this football team as well. So anyways, I'm excited about the receiver group. I'm excited about the running back group. I'm excited about the line, because I do think that our offensive line has an opportunity to be one of the better ones in the league. We've got a lot of hard work left to do.
Now, you're always a positive guy. Before we let you go, you sound like you're really flying high. Do you want the season to start tomorrow?
We'll go play on the cement anytime, anywhere. We're ready to go. Hey, we'll get a game plan ready within a matter of hours. We're ready to go at our facility.
In the Bronx, we say if we played on the cement, all right, go to the fire hydrant and do a button hook, and you could probably diagram a beautiful play.
Michael will be the rock. I'll be the bottle cap.
Right, yeah, and go behind a Cadillac. Yeah,
around the Cadillac and hang a left.
Yeah, there you go.
Those are
Marty,
good, those
thanks,
are
man.
Good games. All right, hey, good to be with you.
Anytime. Thanks. Join us whenever you like. Thank you.